Hey everybody, welcome back. Good to talk to all of you again today. And today we're going to talk about the news, the latest news that came out from Wargaming today. Clan battles are coming to World of Warships in patch 0.6.12. And it's going to be tier 10 ships fighting it out in a 7 versus 7 format. Although there are some limits. There's 1 BB at the most, and there's no CVs allowed. Just speaking of the format, I mean 7 versus 7 I'm okay with, because that's been the ranked format, and I'm alright with that. 1 BB at the most I'm okay with too, because that makes it so that teams really have to be careful what they pick for their one battleship. And plus, 2 battleships might be a little bit too much power, and that might sort of minimize the role for cruisers. So I'm okay with that, but no CVs. And the rationale for no CVs is a little bit amusing, to say the least. So it says that, an aircraft carrier in a well-coordinated team, good teamwork, if you really read into that, provides perfect reconnaissance through the entire map. It creates a lot of obstacles for destroyers, which, kind of is the point. CVs are supposed to counter destroyer stealth. And it generally makes the battle follow the everyone sees everyone scenario, is their rationale. And of course they go a little bit more, and they also say that, well, it reduces variability of battles in the role of torpedo attacks. Also, there are very few high-tier carriers in the game, and it's quite difficult to learn how to play them well. So if you read into all of this, it's like, yeah, we just really don't know what we're going to do to make CVs fit the game a little bit better. And also, hey, we don't like it that there are a few really good CV players that can dominate the really bad ones. Okay, that's kind of a fair point, but you're talking about people who've spent a lot of time and a lot of energy to be really good at carriers, and now you're basically telling them that all their effort was for nothing because, hey, the class you mostly play is not allowed to play in Clan Wars. I mean, what a slap in the face to everybody who's ever spent the time to master carriers. And this is still just a minor point to this whole thing. The bigger point, and the more significant one that you've got to recognize, is the fact that Wargaming have basically come out with this announcement and have basically said, yeah, we have this entire class of ship that we really cannot seem to fit into our game correctly at all. And so instead of working on them like we've been promising to do, let's just outright ban them from this Clan Wars thing, because we don't really want to have them in this competitive, or their version of competitive battles mode, whatever. Wargaming, I think it's time for you guys to fess up that you guys don't have a clue what to do with carriers, like, at all. You don't know what you're doing. Okay? For the last 2.5 years, going all the way back to my experience in Alpha, there have been feedback threads from dedicated CV players who've been raising issues with you, telling you what's wrong with carriers, telling you what the problems with carriers are, why they're not enjoyable, why people might not play them, and this issue has been brought up over and over and over and over again. And honest to God, I don't think you've listened to us once about carriers, ever. I think every time we've maybe brought the issue up, and, a proposal's been put forward, it's almost always been brushed aside as being, from a veteran player who knows what they're doing, therefore, doesn't appeal to the new players or whatnot, and whatever the rationale is. And so now, after all this time, you've come out and done this. All the issues that the veteran players have been complaining about since as far back as I can remember, these issues still exist. I pulled out one of my feedback threads from all the way back in, good God, I pulled one up all the way from closed alpha, and there's still issues from back then with regards to carriers that are still in the game today. So, if anything, that's the big point that I'm taking away from this announcement. Like, yes, we've got clan battles, but no, we do not have a single freaking clue how to make carriers fit and work in our game in a way that's enjoyable for everyone. That is basically what you guys have said here. And I think that's the big issue. And I think it's time, I really think it's time that Wargaming gets people who understands carriers, understands how they should play, understand, how the game interacts with carriers and how carriers interact with the game, sit those people down, take down their thoughts, and really put a dedicated effort into fixing them. But then again, you could always listen to what I have to say here, brush me off, and tell me that it's just another complaint from a veteran player and that it has no bearing to the people that you guys want to bring into the game. But hey, sooner or later, piss enough of your players off and they don't come back. And, you know, your supply of new players is finite. So think about it, Wargaming.